Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico.
Join the stars of the Ancient Aliens TV show. David Childress will guide you through the evidence left behind and the secrets being guarded from mankind. Have artifacts been left on other planets? Mike Barrow will take you to other worlds and explore the truth about the secret space program and the lies NASA tries to hide. What does the UK government really know about UFOs? Former Ministry of Defense UFO investigator Nick Pope will present the real X-Files. Join Grant Cameron, who will provide detailed disclosure plans the world governments are working to. Or will mankind make contact first through our collective consciousness? One of the world's leading female researchers, Paula Harris, will share incredible testimonies from leading whistleblowers on ET contact and what's next for our world. It's time to believe and raise consciousness. Join like-minded souls on Saturday, June 23, 2018 for Awakening, Bowler's Exhibition Centre, Manchester, UK. What do you believe?
Broadcasting from the UK and across the world online. You're now watching The Moore Show and I'm your host, Kevin Moore. Now for the next hour, I'll be covering subjects that will open up your mind and provide you with information you may have never heard before. Now on today's show, I'm joined with Michael Brill, who has been a numerologist since 1985. Now he has over 40 years of combined experiences as an educator and trainer in public and private schools, colleges, businesses and government. This includes 10 years experience in the aerospace industry, together with 2 years at NASA. Now he describes himself as a number disguised as a human being. Now Michael has written 4 books and appeared on numerous international and national talk shows. Now Michael's work can help develop the courage and insights to do what you love instead of to be loved or to maintain control. He reads your life's blueprint, including challenges and their solutions. Michael Brill, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I can't believe we talked. It was January of 2016. It's like over a year and a half. I can't believe where the time has gone.
I know. We were just saying that off air there. It was January 20, and that was when the video was published. So yeah, Michael's been on before. We did a sort of in-depth interview into his work, and I don't think right now I can top that interview. So if you wanna, look at that past interview, then obviously it's just linked in the description right now, and that will tell you about your story, about how you got started into all this, and just where that has led you. And of course, it was a good show, and you got a lot of response. I got a lot of response back from it as well. People love numerology. Why is that? Why the numbers?
The numbers, it goes back to when you were a kid and you're playing a board game and you say, that's not real. Yeah, prove it. Show it to me in writing. And so you get the rules of the game and you point to it and you win your argument. Numerology is black and white. You picked the letters of your name. You picked your birthday. You picked your birth or adoptive family. And everything was set up. And nobody, not a single person, including the person that dies at the age of 6, came down here without a guarantee of success. We have to really determine and define what success is. Is it money? Is it power? Is it status? Is it recognition? Is it contentment? Is it happiness with your life? And so the numbers show you actually, this is your blueprint. You have a guarantee of success. But because of what I call a cosmic abandonment issue, people have a sense of being cut off from the cosmos, reinforced by cutting of the umbilical cord at birth. And we all either do things to be loved, accepted, acknowledged, or in control, or if we're lucky and courageous and have enough crap in our life, we decide to do what we love. And that's what the numbers are about. It's black and white. Now, there's Pythagorean numerology, there's Chaldean numerology, there's Chinese. Everybody's got a form of numerology. But the concepts of the numbers are always the same. 1 always deals with self. 2 always involves others. And the 3, 4, 5, etc. So in your culture, the numbers are the same as in my culture. I'll give you an example. In the German language, the word for cold, I have a cold, I chew, is a 5. 5 is about change, flexibility, balance, reestablishing balance, getting yourself grounded, dealing with changes. In the English language, the word cold comes out to be a 7, which is let go of control. Stop trying to do everything yourself. And so even though the numbers are different, the concepts applied to the health issue are the same. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, and what you were saying just at the beginning as well, when you mentioned that, we all have a destiny, and the numbers will give us a guidance into what that...
A guarantee.
A guarantee into what that destiny is, right? We don't always have to take it, though, do we? Well, we always have to. We don't always... With the issues that we get...
Become aware of.
Yeah, become aware of it.
We don't get aware that we have this guarantee of success because of what I call cosmic abandonment issues. That sense. Imagine, let me just take a moment and give the audience a picture.
Yeah.
There's a giant cloud, huge cloud. Now, we could see the cloud. I'm looking out my window. I can see clouds, but they're not solid. They're vapors. And within that cloud, there are little molecules of hydrogen, oxygen, other kinds of particles floating around in there as well. The electromagnetic charge, and this is really the key to everything, because electromagnetism is also responsible for gravity. I don't know what science says, but that's what I see. And so this particle gets a big enough charge to attract another hydrogen molecule. Together they bring in 1 oxygen, and now we have, let's just call it a droplet of water.
Yeah.
That droplet has enough energy to attract other droplets until we reach a point of density where we can't be in the cloud anymore, and we begin to fall down as a raindrop to the earth, screaming, "Oh my God, what happened? Did I do something wrong? Why don't the other raindrops help me? Don't they love me? Am I being punished?" And then we're never coming back. We're going to fall in an ocean, a desert, in a garden, somebody's head. Doesn't matter, because ultimately that raindrop evaporates. And when it evaporates, it goes back into that cloud as vapor until its energy is at the point where it goes from potential to creation. And from creation, you have to have unity. Things have to be held together.
Yeah.
Once they're held together, we get harmony. They work together like all the systems in our body. And then you get what are called partnerships. Within the group, within the harmony, you now have partnerships of 2 or more that contain potential to create something else. This is the ongoing cosmic process. We forget that. We think we're that raindrop, we're never coming back, but we are, and we always do. And here with the numbers and any other esoteric science that you want to refer to, if it's in black and white, if it can show you the challenge you're going to face and the solution to it, then that's science, because science says if you follow a formula, anybody following a formula should always get the same results. And if they do, that's a truth. And that's what it is with the numbers. You follow the formula, whether you've done it for 30 years, or like me, you're a number disguised as a human being, or you've just done it for 5 minutes, you'll get the same basic answer. That's why numbers are there. Besides which, if we want to start with the Judeo-Christian Bible in Genesis, in the beginning was the Word. A word is a sound. A sound is a vibration. That vibration can be measured with letters and numbers. And that's what the calculator that we're going to talk about in a while is all about. It's gematria. It's an ancient art. It was used by Egyptians, Assyrians, Babylonians, Greeks, the Hebrew people, everybody. You turn written letters into their numeric equivalent in that language. And what you get are the hidden frequencies associated with whatever question you're asked. If it's a health issue, if it's a relationship issue, your question turned into numbers brings up what it is that you're doing, why you did it, what you need to do to change, and how you can make that change.
Okay.
That's what the calculator does.
Okay, yeah, we're going to get into the calculator just in a very quick moment as well, actually, because that's important. The calculator, and this is a new bit of software that you've got as well, which is a really clever bit of software. So when people come to get a reading with yourself, is there anything off limit they can't sort of ask?
No, they can ask, but generally when somebody comes to me with the reading, the initial appointment, I'll ask them, well, what's the big issue in your life right now? And I ask for 3 questions. Give me 3 questions on anything you want. And then using gematria, I turn those questions, those letters, into strings of numbers, which then give me a very accurate answer. And then as part of the analysis that we're doing on their life, I respond to that particular question. But my charts are color coded, and it's 1 page, but that's it. This is your life. It takes 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. Same, I'll talk until I'm finished. But this is your blueprint and why it's not working and what you need to do to make it work. And even though I've done this for 30 years, I've never told anybody anything they didn't already know. I'm a validator. I had a guy come knock on my door. I live in an apartment complex. I have lots of rocks and wood and things like that out front. I'm on the first floor. Excuse me. One of the maintenance guys comes up and says, every time I walk past your place, I feel energy. He said, I got this tree stump. You want this stump? I said, sure, I'll take it. It is the most beautiful stump I have ever seen. I mean, it's got lines in it, it's got character, it's got faces. And that's how things work. Energy is out there. People feel it. There's an attraction. You talk to them. So I give them a little reading. And I said, sometime this October, you're about ready to start a new business and a few other things. He says, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, October. So that's what I mean by not telling you what you don't know. You just don't remember it or you don't hear it. But it's all laid out there. And we have 9-year cycles for the years that we go through. Underneath of that cycle is what's called a universal cycle. So, for example, 2017 equals 10. 1 and 0 make 1. So this is a 1 universal year. So globally, only for those using the Western calendar, obviously, this is a year of brand new beginnings, brand new starts, opportunities to make a shift in the paradigm. Now, on top of that, we have a personal year. My birthday comes out to be achievement number of 3, actually a 30. So if I add the 10 of 217 to my 30, I get 40. So I'm in a 4 year. The 0 says the universe is here to help me, but I've really got to work my butt off. And then I can go out and talk next year. But if you stay with these flows, life gets to be quite easy. Even though you get up in the morning, you don't like your job or your relationship, you're totally stressed out, you don't have any time for yourself, that's all due to reactive patterns, doing to be loved, accepted, or in control. That comes from what I call cosmic abandonment issue. Start doing what you love. It's going to upset the people around you because they're accustomed to you behaving the way they want you to, not the way you want to behave. And that always creates friction. But you've got to go and start doing what you love now.
Yeah.
We're
sometimes you can get caught in patterns, can't you, where you think you're doing what you love, yet it's just a pattern of where you're just used to it.
Well, that or it could be a lust. Lust doesn't always apply to the opposite sex. It could be an activity that you lust for. You can't live without. It makes you crazy. And then you got to just process and find out why. What is this happening? It's so, everybody goes and takes classes and they go to retreats and they go to ashrams and temples and churches and all these places looking for, who am I? Why am I here? How can I find peace?
Yes.
Well, just get your blueprint done and live the life you came to live and stop worrying what anybody else thinks. Easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
We get hooked in. Yeah, we get hooked into mortgages, car payments, charge card payments, relationships, families, and we can't break loose.
Okay, could having a reading with you lead us into finding what our purpose is?
Yeah, there's in a chart, there's all kinds of information that comes out and formulas that are used. One formula is using your month, day, and year of birth, and that is what is called the destiny. Something that's destined, but it's not automatic. You got to move towards it. If you take that number, your month, day, and year of birth, that total, and you add that to the total of your name, your first, middle, and last, or first and last if there is no middle, that's called the expression, or the name total. And that number added to your destiny gives you what's called your life calling, your passion. The one thing that if you do it, you are guaranteed success. It's there.
I'm interested. I'm interested to what mine is. I should have asked you that before, shouldn't I? What is mine?
Yeah. Well, if can I see messages? You can type me your name and birthday.
Oh yeah. Well, no, so I can say it out. But my name's it's full name's Kevin Daniel. Okay. Here's my bank account details, guys. Kevin Daniel Moore.
Moore.
Yep. And my birthday was the 22nd of July, 1978.
Well, that tells me a lot about you. The 7th month and the 22nd day. First of all, you're here to do things on a grand scale, but you had to overcome a desire, not wanting to do something without pre-approval because you don't want to waste your time or be rejected. And then there was little respect for authorities and superiors because they really were neither authorities nor superior. You've been working on getting along with other people. So while we're doing all this, I'm trying to talk and chew gum stomach. Okay, so it's 9. Your destiny is 9. That would be electrical or electronic, communicating with the world at large. It's a straight up 9, as opposed to like an 18-9 or a 27-9. This is a straight up 9. And you were 2, yeah. The challenge to your destiny was self-doubt, part of that cosmic abandonment issue, not wanting to be judged, taking on too much responsibility. And the solution is to be the 5. You're just a messenger. When you put it out over the air, it's not up to you whether people listen to it or not. You've done your job. You've put the message out.
Right.
And the hardest part getting here has been making sure they got the message, which then would lead to frustration sometimes or self-doubt. But it's not your movie. You just have to deliver the message.
Yeah, I mean, it's like doing this show. I mean, I feel sometimes it burns me out. I mean, I'm grateful for people's support. That I've had some beautiful support from a particular person recently financially, and I'm very grateful for his support. Right? It's just
Right.
kept us going a little bit. Yeah. But if there are times doing this work where I think to myself, and if anyone can else apply this into their life, that's why I'm bringing it in the interview. Why am I doing this for? What is? But when you say my desk, the number 9 with the electronics, well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, everything I do is electronics based in one sense. We're using different media to get the word out there. But then it's more than that. I think you're saying. I think it's more than just what platform you're broadcasting on, electronic wise. I think what you're talking about here is actually, there's something else that's not become clear to me yet. Probably that's probably what it is.
Well, I'm listening to you talk, and
do you know
the messages that you go ahead.
Do you know? It's almost like, no. Go ahead, please. Sorry, I don't want to butt in. Go ahead.
Well, your destiny is 9. You're the month that you were born in, July, gives you a desire to acquire and disseminate knowledge. If I was sitting next to you, I'd have to wear rib pads because you'd always be poking me. Michael, listen to this. You can't wait to pass that information on. What better way to end the 22 is a master builder at a global scale, whether it's running your own multinational company, building cities in the desert, roads through jungles, tunnels through mountains, starting your own religion. It doesn't matter. You're here to do things on a very large scale. Your life calling is the total for your name added to the total for your destiny, your month, day, and year of birth, comes out to be a 1. The initiator, the paradigm shifter. Now, there's a double digit. I just didn't have time to do the double digits. Sure. But it's a 1. And the issue with 1, interestingly enough, the challenge to 1 is 9. Remember, your destiny is 9. The challenge to your destiny is 7. Okay?
Okay.
The solution for your life calling is 7. So, stop looking over your shoulder. Stop worrying about whether people are paying attention or not. Pursue your passion. Be that messenger. Shift the paradigm and trust that the universe is giving you information and guiding you like it isn't guiding anyone else. Everything that you're getting is totally for you so that you can shift the paradigm, take the lead, and do it on a global scale. And look at the show you're doing. This is a global show.
Yeah, in one sense it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't ever get lost in my ego to say it's one massive show, because I would never say that.
No, you don't have to. I did a show. I had a radio show for almost 3 years when I lived in Florida.
Oh, right.
It was an internet show.
Yes.
And I got 12,000 people a month. Well, out of 7 billion, it may not seem like very much, but hey, that's 12,000 people that are getting messages. And who knows who they're going to impact and who that impacts. It's that whole butterfly wing effect.
That's true. I mean, this month, my viewership went to 192,000. So, I was grateful.
That's huge!
Yeah, well, I'm grateful for that. That's not just on one video. That's on your overall views on all your videos. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very humbled for that. I don't take that, I am. And I think that what's coming through, it's funny in my work, what's coming through is there's a new paradigm that's going to come through at some point. There's a new understanding of the reality that we're in. And I just get this weird feeling that I'm going to bring up my own version of it. I'm going to bring out my own version of what this reality is, and it will be my message across the world of what I think this is. Whether it's myself from the future projecting myself here, having an illusion, whatever it is, or we're in a holographic universe. But it's something I've kept asking for a higher framework to come through, and I feel that it's finally something's poking, and it's like there's a message to give. So I do get what you're saying. I can understand what you're saying there. So that's interesting. You say what you said. The numbers. It's in the numbers, isn't it?
It's in the numbers. And like I said earlier, I don't tell anybody anything they don't already know. They just haven't acknowledged it.
Right.
So what you just said is exactly what you're here to do. You already know it.
Every interview, and I'm boring people to death on this show probably, but every interview just recently I'm saying, have you ever thought beyond all the books that are out there and thought that actually what I know I don't know, and actually there's something else bigger than what we actually even understand in all these kind of words? And it's like, yes, that's what's, and that's not just come from one interview and then I'm repeating what's in one interview. That's been in the back of myself for a long time, and that was edged out of me on one interview. She was almost saying what I already was saying to myself ages ago. What is beyond what we think we know?
More.
Yeah, my last name. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's you get see that. See, there you go. I chose my name. There you go. I chose my name as
Very
well. in many respects. So then if I switch that, I'm going to use myself as an example here. And sorry, I hope everyone just stays with me here, because this can be you. You can have this reading with Michael as well, right? If I was to say to you, relationship wise, what am I should I be asking this?
So,
oh God.
So very interesting. I haven't done your whole chart, but
No.
we're just playing around a little bit.
Of course we are, yeah.
It turns out that your middle name, Daniel, reduces to the number 9, same as your destiny number.
Jesus.
And so through your relationships and emotional growth, this will help you, because your relationships in the past have involved broken wings, projects, people you were going to fix,
Oh, geez,
and
got me
then
so
wake
right.
up one morning and they would say, "Oh my God, Kevin, I'm so lucky to have you in my life."
I'm putting the phone down now. This is too this is too close.
But it never happened. Never happened. And so the solution was 9, be loving, be compassionate, but be non-attached. Now, non-attached means letting go of codependency or control. Non-attached means you can love, you can savor, you can wallow in it, you can whatever. Enjoy it. Be orgasmic with it, but don't be attached to the outcome. If you can do that, then everything unfolds for you, because the solution emotionally is the same solution for your destiny. Just keep moving on. Stop looking for security in a relationship when you're really here to be a messenger to the world.
Where does that leave my sex life? It's screwed. It's screwed.
Great way. No. If with your relationship, there's a tendency emotionally with the first vowel, first consonant that I talk about in decoding behavior.
Yeah.
D is a 4, A is a 1. 4 and 1 make 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. So you're a 5-3. Emotionally, you don't like changes unless you're making them, which is why you've been attracted to projects, because you felt you were in control, but emotionally you weren't. And so in order for you to have successful relationships, you just have to be who you are and not worry about fixing people so they'll love you. They either love you for who you are or they don't.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think relationships is more important than just the sex life, right? They go hand in hand there, right? But I guess why I say that for is I'm like, hang on a minute, am I just roaming the earth here or something? Is he telling me, or is there like a fixed abode with a wife there maybe one day? Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's all there, but and on my website under exercises. The website is awakener.com.
Yes.
Awakener.com. Under exercises, how to find the ideal partner.
Yeah.
How to make the right decision every time. Everything comes down to learning to trust what you feel. Getting more in tune. This is what consciousness is about. Instead of being reactive. It's so much, we have these patterns that we've adopted in our life that we're really, really good at. And even if we're not looking, we're looking for a new relationship where we want something different. Vibrationally, we're going to bring in what we've always brought in because that's what we're comfortable for. And just an aside, and I'm not saying it applies to you, it's a general statement, that the people that we date are very similar to the parent that we feel didn't love us sufficiently. And through this relationship, we're going to finally get that love. But since they're like the parent that it didn't work with, why would it work now?
Yes, absolutely, and I really appreciate you allowing me just to ask you those questions personally, and I have no problem sharing them with the audience neither. And I've got to say, actually, if I was to say, wow, how fulfilled do I feel from what you've said, I actually feel so fulfilled right now. The idea of going around the world and, you know, to talking my talk about what I think is the nature of reality beyond what other people are saying, and with my own truth with it, that's really fulfilling for me. Now, most people listening to that will say, well, that wouldn't be very fulfilling for me, but that's because it's not what they came here to do. But I'm saying that to show that you are correct in what you're saying. That's what I'm saying it for. So
right. Some people, you're more than welcome. Everybody has a mission. Everybody has a life calling. Everybody has a destiny. Everybody has a guarantee of success. Now, I will say this. It's been my experience that people that come to me for an analysis, a reading, however you want to describe it, don't always listen to the recording after it's made. And it has to do with, again, if you listen to it, you now have to take responsibility for yourself. Well, you haven't up to this point. Why would you now? And so they put it up on the shelf. But if you listen to this recording 15, 20, 30, 40 times, every single time you hear it, something else is going to come off. This is your life plan. This is your written guarantee. Pay attention to it, and life will change for you.
That's a really important message for anyone that's just thinking of getting a reading with you right now, that it's worth just taking that in as well. Maybe you needed to hear what Michael's saying right now, because, yes, he'll give you the reading, but, it takes some self-responsibility. You're not saying there as well, listen, I'm telling you the truth. You're saying, I'm telling you what you already know. Which is exactly what you just told me as well. And to be honest, anyone thinking, well, he's just told you what you want to hear, Kev. No, he's not. He don't know me. Me and Michael haven't spoken for a long time, and it's not quite like that. So no, he's got a real gift there in the numbers. Now, so as a soul choosing, okay. We're told as a soul we choose to come down here. We're told that, and I think that we have got complete free will. So I kind of do buy into that as well. Down the slide we go. Absolutely do what you want. Yeah. You get them. You go back down that slide and you do what you want to do, right? Or you project yourself in the future and project yourself as this illusion and do what you want to do with that projection, right? Without no one telling you what you should do. But at the same time, all the numbers aligned. So how the hell is the soul able to choose when it's coming in to know that's exactly right, and then it adds up physically in these numbers here as well? How the hell does that all work? I mean, it's beyond our perception, isn't it?
I thought you would never ask. It's definitely not beyond perception. I'm given visions in the form of stories. And so if we can go back to that cloud that I talked about at the very beginning, let's just change cloud to cosmos. And everything is in it. All the energy that ever is, was, or will be is already in it. There's this constant churning, creation, destruction. And so let's just give credit to the universe, to the cosmos, as being conscious. It has a consciousness. It wants to extend that consciousness. Like if we just pay more attention to ourselves, we'll understand the cosmos. When we're little kids, it's like, I wonder what will happen if I take this and throw it at that window, which I actually did when I was 3 years old. I threw a battery through the window. I wanted to know what kind of sound it would make. My dad wasn't happy. Another time they gave me a little carpenter kit. In the old days, everything was made out of metal. So I had a real saw. Nobody was home. I sawed the leg off the couch. It worked. Okay? This is what we do as children in total innocence. Oh, I wonder what will happen if I do this. Well, this is how the cosmos starts off. But then that energy has to be stepped down, much like a lightning bolt. It'll kill us if it hits us. But if it goes through a transformer, it can enhance our lives in so many ways. And so the celestial self, or what we call the soul, is that step down energy. Now, it's nothing but a puff of smoke. Really? It has no form. It has no shape. And so how's it going to operate here on Earth? Well, it needs a physical body. I call that the ego. Not Freud's ego, but the ego of the physical self, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our body, the systems that make us who we are, everything that allows us to operate in the third dimension is ego or physical self. Now, the ego, physical self, and the celestial soul self come together and form a yin-yang orb. Perfect harmony, perfect balance between the third dimension and the cosmic realities. In this state, they go back along the timelines. Call it the Akashic Records if you want. Call it a hologram. It doesn't matter. They go back along the timelines and look at what they've mastered, avoided, screwed up. What have they satisfied? What do they still want to work on? And all of this is being done at the same time that we realize this new age, a new 26,000 year cycle is coming. I don't think it'll be here next Tuesday, but it's coming. And that's how long it takes our solar system to make one revolution, as it's also spinning through the Milky Way galaxy. So energetically, there's at least two giant vortexes we're involved with. So here's the ego and the soul in this yin-yang orb, reviewing their timelines, deciding what it is they need to work on. They, in harmony, consciously, together, select the letters of the name and the numbers of the birthday. First name, how you behave in the world of work. Middle name is about emotions and relationships. People with no middle names have come to learn how to deal with those emotions and relationships. Last name is the family dynamic, who we were born to or adopted by and why. And then the soul and the personality and your expression, your destiny, your life calling, mental states. All of this is lined up and set in place. Once that's there, and we make sure we have enough grace to pull this off. Because, again, let's say it was possible for me to speak before 100,000 people, and I asked one question. I want to see a show of hands. How many people purposely came down here to be in pain and suffering and a failure? I don't think anybody's hand would go up. So none of us came here for that. So why isn't it working? Because of our cosmic abandonment. We're doing to be loved, accepted, or in control. So here we come. The minute we hit that veil, there's a shift in calibration.
Yes.
The ego, physical self, is totally in harmony with this more dense frequency. The celestial self has to recalibrate. Now, it's not disconnected. It's just not in that harmonious state anymore. But the ego feels it's been abandoned. While we're trying to recalibrate and be born with knowledge, which is, I don't think, permitted, because even in the mythologies, when you cross the river Styx, you don't eat, don't drink, or you'll lose all your memories. So maybe we're not supposed to remember. That one I haven't worked out yet. But anyway, just before we can recalibrate and be born in harmony, we're born, they cut the umbilical cord, the ego goes, hey, hold it. No, not going there again. Got cut off from source once. That's when everybody begins doing to be loved or maintaining control. But there's an easy way out of this. And it starts with remembering you are unique. You are one of a kind. There is nothing in all the omniverses or the universe or this world that has your exact RNA, DNA, cellular structure, chemical composition. Totally unique. If you can believe that, then your perspective can change, because if you're unique and one of a kind, whatever you do, if you're doing the best you can, as long as you're engaged in that activity, aren't you automatically the best in the omniverse at what you do? This is very important for self-esteem, to accept your uniqueness, do the best you can, but that means you got to take responsibility.
And I guess sometimes, like for myself, I'll just use myself as an example here, right? You know, if you was doing something more mainstream and you loved that mainstream thing, right? Then you're obviously not here too much to care what people think, because you're doing something that everyone's like, oh, that's so cool, it's so mainstream what you're doing, and you've made it work because that's your passion. So yeah, good on you. But when you choose something on the lines that we have, yeah, well, not so much yourself. I'm not sorry, I shouldn't maybe say that, but But I don't think you. I think
No,
what
I
you do.
just make a choice.
I think numerology. What you do is more accepted by the mainstream. Do you know what I mean? I think something, channeling or something like that, something really obscure, is something that you really have to fight past what people think. But really, you're not fighting past what people think. You're fighting past what people think about you, what you think people think about you, and caring what people think about you. That's what you're really
Yes.
fighting past.
Yeah, well, there we go with the cosmic abandonment issue. Instead of doing what you love and realizing, in the case of being a messenger, it doesn't matter if they get it. Sometimes we just get fed up with the stupidity of the human race. I mean, it's like we're offering winning lottery numbers, but they don't think it's going to happen because it hasn't happened before. So why would it happen now? So they've given up faith. They've given up hope. And they just hunker down and want to survive. And that's not happiness. That's not success. That's not.
I think the parts that drive me in half is that on one hand I've got these numbers where I could do these massive things like big corporation I could have done or could still do, or big this and that, and it all equals big money. Where the path that is really passionate doesn't equal the money, and there's always that other side of you saying, come on, it's we can make this money. What are we doing? Come on, go and make that money.
I hear you. I do, and I can apply that to my own life. Right. I took an oath with the cosmos. Right. I took an oath. I'll go where you want. I'll do what you want. You, in turn, need to take care of me. That means the roof doesn't leak, the bed doesn't sag, I have warm food and occasional companionship. That's what I get in return. If I know what I have here, I have something that's never been on the planet before. It can be used by anybody, whether you're a homeopath and you need to know the emotional background, whether you're a psychiatrist, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're a lawyer. What I have here will give you the understanding not only of yourself, but the people you have to interact with. Okay. So my mission is to write down everything that they've given me. It worked out really well because I have an awful lot of sevens, and sevens are generally hermits. So I haven't really dated much for the last 14 years, but I've written a lot and I've grown a lot, and I've got a better perspective now that I can bring out to the world. It's not about the money. If I'm really not chasing the money. If I do, then I'm not fulfilling the oath that I took, but it's my ego saying, I need recognition, I need wealth, I need status. That's the abandonment issue kicking in. If we get ourselves integrated, then if I'm doing what I love, and I've done it for 30 years, and I'm so ready to be an overnight success, but I know what I have is great. Whether it's taken in this lifetime or not, it really doesn't matter. I did what I came here to do, and that was to write this material, make it available for those that want to find it. And if I become famous, that's a secondary. If I become wealthy, that's a secondary of doing what I love and pursuing it and having people realize, wow, this stuff really makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you get the recognition. Yeah. But if you chase it for the money, then it's going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's never going to be enough money.
No.
And you're going to have to do things you don't really want to do in order to make money.
Yeah, it must be in my numbers or something, but I've just got this bloody thing inside me that's always like, come on, let's go make those hundreds of thousands. Come on.
Right. Well, it's the 7. You have among other things, you have a 7 karma, meaning the letters G as in George, P as in Paul, Y are not in your birth name. And 7 is also the month that you're born in. So, and your first name comes out to be a 7. And 7 is the challenge for your emotional relationships and the solution for your life calling, but the challenge to your destiny. So it's your karma. And for you, not for you, for 7s, I apologize.
Yes, please,
for 7, regardless. For 7s, with that abandonment issue, with that anxiety about being judged, about being different, about ostracism, then they can at times be intellectual bullies pushing their agenda to prove they're smarter than everybody else and stop hating me and appreciate what I bring to you. It's kind of like Sheldon in that American TV show, The Big Bang Theory. You know, I don't know if it's broadcast
Yes,
over there, but okay, so it's like a Sheldon attitude.
Yeah. Well, I hope I don't come to that party with that attitude.
No, it's just let it go.
Yep.
It's hard, Kevin. It's hard for everybody to have faith.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have faith unless you go through a series of experiences. For example,
yes.
We'll go back any number of years, a long time ago. I didn't have any money, as usual, and it was my birthday month. And the first week of that month, I made all the money I needed for the whole month. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be incredible. I didn't make another cent the rest of the month. Next month, I don't make any money the first or second week, but the third week, I get everything I need. This goes on again for 2 more months until I go, well, duh, I'm getting what I need. Okay, just keep doing the work. And I've always been taken care of. I've moved with $200 in my pocket, a couple of 1,000 miles to get set up someplace. And it always works.
Yeah.
But I've let go of control. Big issues for 7. I've learned to surrender. Big issue for 7. I once threatened to kick God in the ass. I tell you, I was so pissed off. This is like 1998 or 1999. I was second marriage. We couldn't pay the rent, didn't have money for food. Things were really tough. And I was so pissed off, I just threatened, you get your ass down here and I'm going to kick it up and down the street. And I went out to the gas station to get gas to go up on the rocks, the monument in Grand Junction, and calm down. And as soon as I came out of the gas station, I got rear-ended. And the message was, who's going to cook who in the ass? But as a result, I got $1,500, which covered the next 2 months.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. I still think you can. When we go use the law of attraction, I still think you can have that which you desire. I think you can, but
absolutely,
yeah, I think you can. And sometimes maybe we only desire enough just to keep us going.
Well, I've been thinking about this for the last couple days. I really need to get a lot more assertive if I want to get my material out to the world. But I really love a laid-back life, a stress-free life, a life I don't have to interact with people. But I feel this urge that I need to get this out there, so it sets up a conflict. And the only thing is, well, one of the truths is, nothing's going to happen if you're sitting on your butt. You've got to be out in the world for the universe, cosmos, God, whoever, to bring opportunities to you.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. Yep.
Yeah. And so that's what it is. You spread the word, you do what you love, and the money comes and it doesn't come. It's all about waves.
Yeah.
But in the overall, it always balances out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Now, and I hope that resonates with so many other people out there. What we're saying here as well. I hope it does. So, okay. Now, getting into your calculator as well. Now, this is a pretty cool product. Now, how do people get hold of the product? Where do people go, and what does it cost, and how does it work? So, just talk us through it.
Okay. First of all, we need to figure out. I'll tell the audience now, but we need to figure out when this goes up on YouTube. There will be a 48-hour window that will be available for you, the listeners, to go in and access the calculator for free. And I have to tell you now, print out the required documents. The one called Doing an In-Depth Analysis, that's 12 pages. And then over on the left-hand margin, the meaning of the numbers, the concepts of the numbers. Print these things out. You're going to need them unless you're a numerologist. Having said that, what the calculator does, it's been a 20-year project. It basically has everything that I've developed, and I've put it into both written form and audio form. And so you put in a birth name and a birth date. And then if you want immediate results, you put some random letters in the question box. And you immediately get the core issue, the life challenges, and the karma with the solutions for them as well. If you want to do something more in depth, for example, why do I have fibromyalgia or breast cancer or prostate cancer? You write that question in. And then when the calculation comes up, you're going to see a string of numbers. I talked about this, I believe, on the last show, but these are called numeric daisy chains. The first number in the series and the last number in the series are the same. In between, you have superscripted numbers and full-size numbers. The superscripted number is your reactive pattern of doing to be loved or in control. The full-size pattern is the solution to the challenge, your proactive choice, consciousness. So in the box, after you've asked that one question, what caused my fibromyalgia or breast cancer or whatever, then you go down to the answer box, and there's a total of numbers. You'll see, and then the next box takes the single-digit total. You have a text file and an audio file. If you click on the text file, you can copy it and paste it into your word processor. There's a boilerplate that you can use. It's one of the documents you print out. So as you now cut and paste all the answers that are in text form into your word processor, you can go back and ask the second question. What do I need to do? What behaviors do I need to change? What do I need to do to start getting rid of this particular health issue? Okay. And then you go back and you copy and you paste all that in there. And then you go back and you can ask the third question. Well, how do I do this? How do I make these changes? And now you cut and paste and you have a third set. So now you could have as much as 10 or 12 pages of text here. But as you sit and read it, you take responsibility. This is the reactive. Well, if you're doing this, this is what's going to happen, and this is what you need to do to change. All of that is explained. Then it's your responsibility to do the interpretation. I grant it. This can be hard for the lack of a better term, for the masses. But it's useful and it can be done. You got to print out the documents. What I really would like is for practitioners to use this as another tool to enhance their own work. I mentioned earlier the homeopath that needs to know the emotional background. Same thing with acupuncture. If you can know where the emotional issues and psychological issues are, then your knowledge of the meridians can help you treat more than the meridian than classic acupuncture would call out. Or you're a lawyer or a teacher that needs to understand their students. Doctors, salespeople, it doesn't matter. It goes on and on. This answers any question that you have, and it's accurate because it's numbers.
Okay. And
so
how long does it take for the questions to come back once you've submitted them?
Instant. This is an app. You download this app off the internet, out of the cloud. The 48-hour thing is it's free. Otherwise, it's like, I think it's $10. You get 2 questions. And then you can do it for a week. You can do it for a month. A quarter, semi-annual, or annually if you're a professional. And we can do deals if you want to buy multiple copies for a business. But it's an incredible, accurate tool that will just, I know, help practitioners be able to pinpoint things much more quickly.
Yeah.
The material appears instantly. Where the time comes is copying and pasting into the word processor, then reading all this information. There are very long responses.
So how long did this take to construct and put together?
20 years. 20 years, but to actually put together, I have an absolutely brilliant programmer that anybody that wants to use, he's available to you. He put this whole thing together for me. I would say probably 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then we beta tested it with 90 people. We're still finding a couple glitches here and there. But the other thing about it is when your challenge numbers appear, they're all color-coded. So you can see every place your challenge numbers appear, and that color will hold when you copy and paste it into your word processor.
So just remind us, what should the questions be? Open questions?
Well, as an example, give me an open question.
Well, how, what, why, and when? Like rather than closed. Yeah.
Totally open. For example, let's say you've had a dream. So you would preface it with, what is the meaning of this dream? Or why did I have this dream now?
Yeah.
And then the whole dream goes in, and then that response is telling you what's going on in your life.
Right.
Numerically. We can play that game right now if you want. And that was, you pick a category.
Yep.
Could be health, work, relationship, finances, whatever. And give me 3 single-digit numbers between 1 and 9, and I'll tell you what's going on. So what's a category? Health, finances, work, relationship, the future.
Go with the relationship right now. Go on. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So give me the first 3 single-digit numbers between 1 and 9 that pop in your head. And you can't think about it. That's why I keep talking. So I just want you to spit out
2, 3, 6.
2, 3, and 6. So relationship, there's a need for compromise, timely communication, a bit more harmony, letting go of emotional and sentimental attachments. There needs to be emotional intimacy, let go of a feeling of inadequacy, watch your sarcasm a little bit, stop being the martyr, and stop trying to fix everything yourself, but allow it to unfold and allow them to be responsible as well. Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay. So you could apply that, and anyone can apply. Yeah. So that's how it works. Yeah. And where again, when you submit a question, that's private as well.
Yeah. When you submit a question to me, I get an email, and then I'll directly respond to you. That doesn't go anyplace else. But I don't look at. I can't read what you're asking. I don't know any of that stuff.
Right. And what is the website? So basically, you can go to the App Store and you can get it on the app, or is it just on
No.
the internet?
I'm going to have a link put on my website, but it's actually called Brill, Brill, calculator.com.
Okay.
That's all you have to type in. There's an introduction page, and then if you want to play with it for $10, you can get 2 questions. But as I said, those questions could take very in-depth and a lot of cutting and pasting. Don't waste them on when am I going to find my boyfriend or girlfriend, or don't waste it on that. Do something deep and heavy.
Right. Okay. And right. Well, we'll be linking everything in the description right now for the Brill calculator, and we'll be putting it on the screen as well for those first 48 hours. So there'll be a username and password that they'll put into that.
Yes, thank you so much. The code that you'll put in is K as in Kevin, M as in more, show. That's KM show, and that's all caps.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, again, we're linking all that on the screen as we speak, and we've been also putting your website on there for people to get in contact with you directly for a numerology reading. And when you do a reading for people, that's a pretty in-depth reading, isn't it? That you do.
Extremely.
Yeah.
I actually, to be honest with you, I call myself a number disguised as a human being. So the human body then channels this information. That as I look at the numbers, everything just kind of comes together and words start coming out.
Yes.
I rarely look at the client. I'm generally looking down at the paper and reading off of that. So I'm not reading body language or anything. It's just strictly numbers. Beautiful.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought as much as well. Okay. Now, just we're a little bit over time right now because we've talked about with numerology, there's a lot to talk about. We have skimmed the surface on this interview. We really have. But this is now 2017. It's August. Now, obviously, where are we in the world, do you think, with all the changes that are taking place as well right now? There's some big changes happening right now in the world, isn't there? It's been going on for a long time, but they're kind of ramping up a little bit, they feel.
Yes, August right now is a 9-month. And this applies not just to the world, but to individuals as well, and companies. August is a repeat of the previous year. September is a final exam for the current year, and October is a preview of what's coming next year. So this will be a very emotionally intense month, again, globally, for those using the Western calendar. Are you letting go of things? Are you doing what you love? Are you being compassionate? Are you being attached? Are you trying to, what's going on here? So that energy is running underneath whatever energy you're having in your personal year, but globally, it's going to be a very emotionally intense month. I think we're going to see some major headlines. It's already gotten intense.
It's already
the end of July with North Korea and the missile launch and the sanctions between the United States and Russia. BRICS, there's difficulty in Britain. Now it's just everywhere.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. It's just everywhere. You cannot. If you want to talk about what this big shift in the world that people have been talking about for years, it's happening now. It's been happening for a time, but it's definitely, this is it. This is everywhere is change going on. It's all part of it. It's not disconnected. It's all connected. So where does that leave? Do you think November and December this year then?
Well. If we get reset in October, which is a 2, that's about partnership and harmony and balance.
Yeah.
Then we go into November, a universal 3, about communication, about social interaction, about manifesting what we desire. And then we go into December, a 4, whatever we've been creating or working on with others, it's time to begin solidifying and pulling together. And then 218 is a universal 11 year. So the 11 being the first of the master numbers can indicate knowing the way it ought to be, but not being able to make it like that can lead to frustration or even zealotry. And the United States has a birthday of 7/4, which comes out to be 11. So it could be very difficult for the United States next year. For the world at large, we have an opportunity, if it's not going well, to turn it around in 2021. That's the 5-year. Opportunities for new beginnings, just like in our personal life. If we miss that opportunity, we're going to have to wait till 2026, which is the new 9-year cycle that will be starting globally.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's why I'm take responsibility for yourself.
Yes. Would you say that's the biggest message right now?
Yes. Yeah, you said it. We're in an acceleration.
Yeah.
Forwards or backwards. There's no neutral ground. If you're going to go forward, you got to take responsibility. If you're doing that, then you're in your integrity and everything is cool. If you're not taking responsibility, you're going back.
Yeah.
Faster and faster.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to see if I can with the documentary we're making called They Call Us Channels. I'm going to see if I can just get you included in that because it's a little bit late right now, but I'm going to see if I can do. I would love to cross paths with you because I kind of got you on here because I wanted you to share the Brill calculator, but also just to reshare people just how important numerology is as well. And I think when you've said it in the previous interview, that's why I never mentioned it until now, that when you do this numerology readings for people, you are channeling in a sense. You are connecting with a greater aspect of yourself and bringing that information through. You really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart. I'm not good looking, but I'm not that smart.
Well, I love that, and I think that part you bring through is you still. That's how smart you are. I think it is you. It's just with our forget-me-not, we just we don't see the connection all the time, do we? So yeah. giving you a bit of power back there, definitely. So, listen,
Thank you.
no, that's okay. God, what you're doing is just so needed, and that's why I want to include you in the documentary as well, just to show that everything's a part of channeling.
And I want people to come sit in my chair.
Yeah. Now that's some sort of energy vortex kind of device, isn't it? It's some kind of yes.
It'll take you through dimensions.
Well, like you say, maybe I'll be able to go back to the UK that way as well. Just without the bags, as you said to me.
Right. Get a one-way ticket. I'll send you back.
That'll make that'll knock a bit of money off the documentary. I love it. Okay, well, listen, Michael, I know I've been all around the houses here, and we've skirted around a lot of stuff, but I think this will just have helped people, just to nudge them along just a little bit, and that's the most important thing, just open a few minds. And your website is?
Awakener.com. That's AWAKENER.com. Awakener.com.
Perfect. Okay, well, that's been coming up on the screen throughout this interview, including your books as well, your books on numerology and cosmic numerology as well. So, Michael, I just want to say, and not be too long, but just until then, thank you so much for coming on today, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Kevin. It's always a joy. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.